But again, talking about polls, we have to remember that a lot of the people that do vote Democrat or are going to vote for Kamala Harris, they're one issue voters, and their one issue, the one issue is abortion. They don't care about anything else. They don't even know about anything else.
And that's a sex issue.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, but
that's all that they care about. They could give a crap if our border continues to let millions upon millions of people into this country that are going to commit crime, that are going to rape women, abuse women, rape children. They don't care. They worry about abortion.
And thanks for the comment, Greg. Great promo. Yes, we hope it is. And we hope not that it looks good and sounds good, but it actually works. You can advertise with Cancel This in a variety of ways. If you know of any companies that want to increase their brand, expand their brand, we're certainly doing that, not only in the live portion of our show, but across all of our media platforms, our social media platforms, which go worldwide, including one of those reels just last week that's 110,000 views already. So we got a good thing going on. We'd love people to partner with us, advertise, sponsor. Got a nice little donation the other day. It doesn't matter. It's whatever you got, we can use and put to use here. Lots going on here, and we're grateful for your support. This is Cancel This, canceltheshow.com. Vic Faust, Megan Marie, just booming in her. What color is that today? Is it on air? It looks canary yellow. In person, it looks lime green.
Maybe.
Or fluorescent.
I don't know.
Felt tip, whatever. And Pro Joe in the house taking care of everything from a technical standpoint as well. Lighting looks fantastic today. Eric Johnson on his way in. Donald Trump with some big comments yesterday and last night. We've got, remember that whole Taylor Swift deal? Oh, I'm voting for Kamala Harris. Quinnipiac, probably the most down the middle polling there is, has a very interesting poll in regards to what her announcement did. Did it hurt Donald Trump or did it help Donald Trump? Bum, bum, bum. I think I've already given it away. Just wait till you see that number. Eric Adams, New York City mayor, liberal. He went against the liberal machine, and now they're giving him some Donald Trump treatment. Faked up charges. You know how that goes. Kamala Harris continues to outdo herself on a daily basis with just dumb, stupid quotes. The more she talks, the more you find out just how empty upstairs really is. We're going to get into all of that as well. Plus, a whole lot more. If we have time, an FBI whistleblower literally telling people they need to get out and vote ASAP and have rations of up to 3 to 4 months. Not trying to scare anybody. We just want to educate people as best as we possibly can. Okay. So let's figure this whole situation out right now.
Oh, I hear somebody's in the house.
Eric Johnson getting ready to come in. And CNN, why don't we just get to it with her right out of the gate? Lord Loomer.
Good morning.
Have a seat, Eric Johnson in the house. I don't know. I didn't send him the damn pictures. Anyway, I'll try to, I think I have it, Joe. I'll find it if I can. Anyway, Laura Loomer, somebody who I respect, somebody who's become very, very, very popular with Donald Trump. Last week, CNN ran pictures saying that Donald Trump and Laura Loomer were hanging out together, tried to insinuate there was an affair. CNN had to come out and apologize. Anderson Cooper actually ran the story. They were fake. They were fake photos. So now you have networks running fake photos. Fake photos and running stories on it with no credibility, which is why I say it's tough. You can't trust the national media. And I hate saying this. You just can't.
Well, there's no such thing anymore. There's no such thing. Come on, man. You know that. I was watching your colleague last night. Mandy? It was the night before in local TV.
How did it look? How's she doing?
She's fine looking.
I haven't got any flowers.
She hasn't got the HD itch yet. Eventually, people, they don't look so good on HD anymore. But it wasn't that.
Did you have a few cocktails before you watched?
It was on acid.
Everybody looks better after a few drinks.
Stop it. That's a whole different thing. But no, I was like, local TV is lining up against Trump.
Of course they are. Oh my God, they've been doing it for years.
There's no such thing as national news.
There's like no such thing in the newsroom. Mm-hmm.
There's no such thing. It's his and her news.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It is his and her news. It's like having a baby. You either want the pink balloon or you want the blue balloon. Mm-hmm. You know, you either want the boy or you want the girl. You can't. It's sad. I was a connoisseur of down the middle news. And it took me a while to really realize there's no such thing anymore.
It's funny you say that because you missed out on the show before the show, and the three of us were just having a quick chat about. I had my alarm service at the house the other day, so the guy from ADT was over, and of course I had Fox News on,
of course,
and he says to me, you know, I'm really amazed at how different the news is. I said, what do you mean? He says, well, I'm listening to your news. He says, but I was at someone else's home yesterday that had CNN on.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm listening to it and it's like night and day. And this guy these guys don't like that I actually sat and took the time to have a conversation with this guy. But
no, because you're naive sometimes. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful when I say that.
I am too.
You're naive.
No, I'm not.
You're naive around guys.
No.
You are.
No.
And I've been told that I was naive around women. You don't get it. You don't know what they're trying to do. That was the whole point.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to hang out in this woman's house for an hour, Eric. The utility fixer guy got to hang with me.
The milkman.
Yeah. Milkman, mailman.
No, he genuinely wanted to know.
Yeah, of course. Just keep talking to me as I sit here.
No, he did. And he was so.
That was the only reason I didn't like it.
Listen, he asked all the right questions too. He was. It wasn't like, tell me about the news. Like he was asking like legitimate questions. Yeah. He was asking about Palestine,
he was an independent.
Israel.
Maybe you swayed him.
No, he has Donald Trump on his screensaver. He has Donald Trump on his screensaver.
Well, then you're good.
I can think of
I
worse
was
things.
safe.
I could think of worse things to do.
He wasn't a wackadoodle lefty.
Then sit at a counter with you for an hour in your home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look,
I got my next appointment in 2 hours. He got a bottle of wine.
I changed his life. I changed his life.
Oh, we know.
That's what I'd like to say.
I'm in the same category as you. If I was an entrepreneur, and I am, I would invent a news source that the people wanted. Right down the middle. I don't editorialize at all. This is the fact. Blank was indicted today. Blank murdered somebody today. Donald Trump is here in the polls. Crap is over here in the polls. And I think you would make a fortune. And you would not look, you couldn't even market it. Look, what was the name of the little news outlet that you were affiliated with somehow? News Nation? Is that what they tried to market themselves?
And it didn't work.
No.
And it died.
Because
I love the news. They were down the middle.
No, they're not.
They used to be down the middle.
But now it's like they sway left again. I'm like, what?
But nobody.
How is that possible?
We try to bring facts and not emotion here. And I think that's what happens with, national news, mainstream media, is they try to get you to think a certain way by provoking emotion in you. And they don't even care about the facts.
Well, it's not about that. It's you're basically watching. You're what. Fox is the same way. I'm sorry. I have to be honest. Fox is shilling for the Republicans. Every single one of their late night hosts,
most of it,
are shilling for conservative causes. Laura Ingraham, Jesse Waters, Greg Gutfeld. But here's the thing. They're the number one in their category, not because they have better cameras. I think it's because people resonate with that message more.
Of course they do.
Now, here's the one thing.
That's what the message is, the majority.
Yeah. Here's the one thing I can't figure out. This is where you need to help me. How is it 50-50 in the polling? If people really do resonate more with conservative talking points, how does Kamala Harris have 49% of any poll?
Yeah.
How? How is it not 60-40?
Well, you would think that it should be 60-40, but you have to remember that we're not dealing with people that, have a full deck.
Yep.
They're just not.
Hey, speaking of polling though, Quinnipiac, for the first time ever from Quinnipiac, Trump has now increased his lead at 6. He's gone up 6 points, now leading a popular vote poll for the first time.
Which one?
Quinnipiac, which is one of the best.
Yeah.
Quinnipiac down the middle has Trump leading over her now.
Yeah.
For the first time. Also, Poly Market, which is what I look at where people are betting, where big money goes.
Me too.
Betting 51-49% Trump.
I knew it.
That's where the money's being put right now. I'm just telling you, these things are happening.
It's still 51-49. Why is it not 68?
That's what made me think about it. Because people are nuts.
Well, they are nuts.
But I got a better one. Look at another poll from Quinnipiac. check this one out.
Okay.
Remember in Taylor Swift, she's so popular. Eric, she was literally made a career of making bad decisions and then singing about her bad decisions.
Good point.
And then we're supposed to, we're gonna follow you.
Here's a song about John Mayer.
Jump off the bridge.
Yeah.
Sure. Look what happened. Her announcement with Kamala Harris as her person to vote for.
Yeah.
Look at this. The question was, are you more enthusiastic about Harris's candidacy or does it make a difference? Look at the 18 to 34-year-olds. Only 8% are more enthusiastic. 35 to 49-year-olds, only 5% more enthusiastic. 50 to 64, the biggest group. This is what shocked me.
Yeah.
10% more enthusiastic. So it shows you that group between 50 and 64 was the most, but that was the percentage. Guess what? Less enthusiastic. Every category was it was a higher percentage of people who were less enthusiastic about her.
I told you.
But most people voted they don't give a shit.
She's going to Dixie chick herself if she's not careful. You know what's really going to piss people off about?
Not.
Oh, yeah, she is.
She's too big.
You know what's going to really piss people off is when Travis Kelce can't do his job anymore.
And he's close. He hasn't been doing his job all year.
It's so true.
3 games in.
They're going to piss some people off if Travis Kelce goes the way of the dodo bird because he's too into Taylor Swift.
Well, and he needs to get a grip on his girl.
On his football game.
She is, well,
Go
that too.
Work out. Damn.
She's falling apart at the seams, this gal. I mean, she is the perfect example of the left. So
is he, though.
Well,
when the day I saw him do the COVID vaccine commercial, I was like, oh my God, he's one of them.
But he's one of them. To your point, here's an example of why Kamala Harris has the polling that she has. You've got someone like Taylor Swift, who's obviously very influential. And her big issue is the LGBTQ alphabet soup. That's her big thing.
Fantastic.
But what I don't know if she doesn't know the other part to it. So while she's pushing the LBG, all of these things, does she realize what Kamala Harris and Mark Walls, the other side to that, what they're pushing as far as not protecting children that, are temporarily in a bad place and decide that they want to chop their body parts off?
The problem with liberalism is just what you said. The problem with liberalism is this way. When I was in rock and roll, I knew a lot of guys that did cocaine. I knew a lot of guys, 35-year-old dude producer sitting doing cocaine in the studio. To me, the analogy is this: that 35-year-old producer that does coke that says, "I think cocaine should be okay. It should be lawful for everybody to do. And if kids want to do cocaine, also that's fine." The problem that she doesn't have is that nuance. It's like everybody in this room doesn't care if you're a transgender. But let's keep it out of Parkway Central High School. Let's keep it out of Belle Reve Elementary School, because these kids still deserve the chance to develop a normal adolescent, loving relationship that has nothing to do with being pressured into wearing a female dress. If you're a male, the problem I have with it is that she can't differentiate transgenderism versus kid transgenderism. That's the mess that we're in.
You're exactly
right. Do you understand what I'm saying?
100% correct.
It's like we're all Republicans. If you want to wear a sundress and your name is Tyrone and you are going down to get some cigarettes in the city, who cares?
Right.
I hope you look great in that sundress. I used to watch MASH. I thought Klinger looked fantastic in the dresses. I was like, I wasn't offended by Klinger at all. But it's the problem with these liberals is quite honestly this. It's the fact that you're pushing it into bad positions. Let's not push all the transgender crap on the kids.
Yeah.
Let's keep them healthy until they become 18. And then let's not have a campaign to make them transgender. Let's let them just choose it naturally, organically.
Yes, and that is my one issue with if we want to call them liberals, fine. But my one issue with people, I don't care what side.
Say leftist.
Okay,
I don't know the difference.
We'll say
actually.
The leftist. Is if you genuinely and truly think that it is okay, that it's normal and it's healthy to discuss these topics with children, there's something wrong. There is something definitely wrong.
Not to them, it's not.
Well,
see, that's the problem.
I'm here to let them know.
Well, they're going to say screw
that
you.
There's something wrong with them.
But see, if I play devil's advocate enough on this show, I will turn into a liberal.
You can't challenge me. If you were a
what
liberal,
do you mean turn into one?
Stop yourself. I am not. No, I'm just saying this.
Yeah.
Is they're going to go, screw you. It's like when you watch the Charlie Kirk TikToks, he's always in a fight with a liberal, right?
I love it.
And Charlie Kirk will come up
it.
with point after point after point after point to destroy the liberal in front. But they always say, F you, and they get up and walk away because they can't.
Because they're sick. They're ill. They have no constructive argument. They all they can do is come up with feelings like Taylor Swift and sit there and cry and go, no, you're wrong, you're mean, you're awful, you're this, you're that. Well, guess what? You're sick. And they
they're
are
not sick. Here's the deal.
If you think that it's okay to talk these topics with children, you're sick.
Okay, but here's the deal.
Does this all get back to Taylor Swift?
It is a hyper important issue to be honest with you, because this is a lady that speaks to multi-millions of women across the country. I will say there is a little blowback coming against her because there are multi-million of women that are like, I love your songs, but you're an idiot. And I don't think it's going to hurt, like Vic said, it's not going to hurt her ticket sales that much, but it is, it is that little seed of negativism that she's not this wholesome, chick in the middle of the country that's singing country pop songs or whatever.
I love looking at the polling from Quinnipiac, and Donald Trump continues to kick ass. He's doing well. He had a couple great stops, North Carolina yesterday, and he was strong. I thought this quote was pretty damn interesting from Trump yesterday, because in the last few days, we've heard all of this information about Iranian plots to take his life and being around things. Once again, every time he takes a mic, unlike Kamala, he makes things happen. He shows his leadership skills, and he reminds us of times that were a whole lot better. Listen to him and how strong he sounds and how he is not giving up on anything.
Why we all need to pull together to thwart these attempts and to bring back American strength, power, and prestige. We will soon have it back. No threat will shake me. No enemy will intimidate me. And I have never been more determined than I am today, and I will never back down in my fight to make America great again, which is what we're doing.
Thank you, Donald Trump.
Yeah. Is it
We
resonating?
have to have him. We have to have him
back. Is it resonating, though?
I believe so. How do you know that? How would we know if it's resonating?
I think that the polls it would go out of the margin of error.
And the polls are out of that margin of error when it comes to the Electoral College.
Okay.
100%.
I thought that about Joe Biden too, and somehow he got 90 million votes. I have no.
And the other thing is, look at 2016. Trump was like an 8-point underdog.
That is true.
So just remember,
that is true.
It's the Donald Trump factor.
Do you ever?
People hate him so much.
Yeah.
Not everybody. There's a minority that hate him so much that they will do whatever we want, and that's why I said I got to the point where I'm like, don't even pay attention to the polls. I look at them and I say them because the polls that I know that matter. Yeah. They're all in favor of Trump, not the NBC, New York Times, LA Times. Yeah. I know what liberal publications and TVs are because I was in the business for 25 years. I know what's wrong. I know what's based, and I know that there is a massive undertaking to keep him out of office.
Stop looking at the polls. That's working. What I just got on the text line. I go, that's crazy.
Yeah, so I was just saying.
Well,
how do you know what state to go campaigning if you don't?
Well, yeah, but look what happened the last election. I mean, the polls clearly were not accurate.
Quinnipiac, Rasmussen, Real Clear Politics. I'm telling you, these are polls that I have seen for decades, being in news, that have seen, like, they're kind of right down the middle. But even, just remember, you don't know who you're talking to when you're calling. So I you know how you tell, Eric? Look at the support wherever Donald Trump goes. Yeah, look at the tens of thousands of people who know they can't get in, but they want to be a part.
Let me ask you this. Are Kamala's events, are those organic events? Or are they busing people in?
Well, they were busing people in. I don't know if it's still happening, but I mean, you can just tell by the difference in the crowds. You know, the enthusiasm is just off the chain for Donald Trump. Yeah. You know, and then you walk into Kamala's and it's like a snooze fest. You know, but again, you know, talking about polls, we have to remember that a lot of the people that do vote Democrat or are going to vote for Kamala Harris, they're one issue voters, and their one issue, the one issue is abortion. They don't care about anything else. They don't even know about anything else.
And that's
was
so
it? How
and it's
stupid?
Just, and that's a sex issue.
It is.
I know.
I mean,
it's so
but
crazy.
that's all that they care about. They could give a crap if our border continues to let millions upon millions of people into this country that are going to commit crime, that are going to rape women, abuse women, rape children. They don't care. They worry about abortion.
Did you guys see the ad? I don't even know if they're doing it anymore. It's the sound effect of the little kid dying. Did you hear that?
No.
It said, I'm trying to quote it verbatim, but it was like Kamala's policies of allowing a child to die after birth. And there's a sound effect of this kid kind of struggling.
Good.
And I'm like, good. Damn.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, I said, I 1,000,000% said, if you want to vote on the topic of abortion, you should have a high definition visual of what happens to the kid that you're killing.
Why do you think that Planned Parenthood doesn't want to have a final step where a woman and or a man that's with her has an opportunity to see their baby and the heartbeat beating before they make the decision to execute that living child because they don't want you to change your mind?
Well, it's not even that. It's like, what about a kid that's in utero on the third trimester?
They're missing
That's even
chip.
worse.
They're missing a chip. I'm telling you, something's not right.
So you think it's just a mental? It's an evil thing.
It's a very, very selfish issue.
Yeah,
so,
it's just one, and not to change this whole show into abortion. I mean, I know you brought up.
Yeah,
it's one issue. It's one freaking issue.
That's what they worry about.
She's right. It's like you can't go, all right, let's talk about grocery prices. Okay, Trump. Let's talk about immigration. Okay, Trump wins that one. Okay, let's talk about your school not having transgender kids in the country.
There's so many issues.
Trump. And then you bring up abortion.
No, we need to do a whole show on abortion.
And then you bring up abortion, and it's a cannonball of weight.
And you promote it.
It's like, oh, well, I got to vote for Kamala because of abortion. It makes no sense.
That's exactly it. And that's exactly what women, we were just showing these polls, if you're 18 and up, maybe even younger, because that's all you hear your friends talking about. That's the only thing they care about. They don't even know about what's going on in our country.
It's not resonating across the country right now. Even CNN is showing when it comes to what matters for voting, they're the same things. Economy, inflation, immigration, abortion's like fourth or fifth.
Yeah.
I think we're freaking out way too much about
abortion.
It's just my humble opinion. But all the polling says abortion isn't at the top of the list anymore.
It is. My thing is
for
this.
Younger people.
My thing is this, and this is the best thing I've ever heard. I was like, how can you a woman's right to choose? You're absolutely right. You have the right to choose to have sex with this dude in the hopes that you don't get pregnant. Oops, you got pregnant. Your right is now terminated. Now we worried about the kid's right to get up and go play soccer when he's not 9 years from now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly.
You had your right to choose. You had your right to choose. Go get birth control.
Yeah, well, you can't trust anything.
Well, and
what's
God
coming
forbid
from the
you
left.
talk about birth control. We're not even allowed to talk about the smart thing, the thing that could really help end this issue.
We'll do an entire show on abortion and actually get into these clinics, because the same clinics that are providing abortion are also the same clinics that are trying to promote sex changes and the mutilation of children. So that's how they make the money, and they call it healthcare.
Yeah.
That's, if you're a Democrat,
reproductive care.
That's what Democrats do. And then I'm like, sorry, you can't disassociate yourself from one or the other. It's all lumped in there. Yeah. That's what all those places are about. And it's sad. And it
sucks because that they're using these as wedge issues. As much as we cannot stand the invalid in the White House, Joe Biden.
Oh, he's still in the White House?
Yeah, he thinks he is. If you said to him, a lifelong Catholic, hey Joe, your new policy is going to be allow women to have abortions, he might look at you like,
he's not a lifelong Catholic.
Now, I don't know about that.
No, he claims he's a Catholic.
Yeah. He's very proud of that Catholic moniker.
Because that's what they use. He's not a Catholic. He's been banished from certain dioceses in the country from even receiving the Eucharist. What about
Nancy Pelosi?
Same thing. She's been banished from certain dioceses as well, because you can say you're something. Oh, I'm Catholic. And then it's not. It's another big story. It's an evil thing from within to try to tear the church down. I've done a lot of study on this. That's why just like a Republican says, I'm a rhino.
Yeah.
You're a Republican in name only. They're chinos. They're Catholic in name only. They use the moniker, but I'm a doctor. I can say I'm a doctor.
Yeah, but if you believe you're a Catholic, you're a Catholic.
No, you're wrong. That's not true.
Isn't that true?
No,
What?
it's
What
not
If
true.
you believe you're a Catholic or
No.
you're a Catholic, right?
No.
If you get the
Wrong.
I don't understand.
Does that mean if I believe I'm a doctor, I'm a doctor?
Huh?
Does that mean if I'm a doctor, I believe I'm
So
a
you have
doctor,
to have
I'm
a
a doctor?
license. Now this is something you should do a show on.
That's what I'm saying.
Because
We'll
I
get
totally
into
do
it.
not understand how that is possible.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm saying is that if he was truly mentally.
What was your point
My
about Biden?
point was this: they're using these as wedge issues. They don't believe in any of this crap.
No.
You don't think that Kamala is going to transgender parties every weekend, do you? You don't believe that Biden is hanging out at Planned Parenthood going, I got to defend this with my life. No, they're using this as very divisive issues so they can get.
Well, when
Because
Obama
the
was
thing
president, he hung out at the transgender parties.
Watch out.
Yeah. Well,
Over at Diddy's house.
yeah. And to the point about Biden, when you're a Catholic, you're also a Christian.
Yeah.
So you would assume that you believe what's in the Bible. The problem is right now you've got a lot of people running around claiming that they're Christian and then pointing fingers at Christians saying, you should be accepting of this. You should be accepting of this because isn't that what Jesus would have done? And the answer is clearly no.
Nope.
It is not.
That's
And
true.
so there's a fine line, between people wanting to think that they're Christian and wanting to be a certain way. But it's like any other thing that if you are, a connoisseur or of something, or you are, someone that you're a professional in something, you know the text. You know exactly what it requires to be a professional of whatever it is.
Yeah.
So if you are a Christian and you don't know the text and you don't know what's behind it in order to be a follower, then you're not. And that's okay. You've got time. It's never too late to go back.
Exactly.
But you can't.
After you screw up the country.
Right, yeah. But you can't proclaim.
The Biden deal it's whatever. It's just a disaster. It's been the worst 4 years of our country's history with him and what's happened.
But if you ask MSNBC, it's the greatest president.
But you know why?
Ever
Because
lived.
they're bought and paid for. Do you realize that just last week, Tim Walz was meeting with Alex Soros, George Soros's son.
Part 2.
So that
sequel.
That information has already been released. They had a planning session together, and that's all you need to know. Alex Soros, who has said that he was diverting funds from a lot of their programs internationally, bringing him to America to make sure that Donald Trump was not reelected. So now you have the Soros family meeting and publicly meeting. So just know that all of these things are happening. And again, another Quinnipiac poll says that 65% of Americans believe that there will be a third attempt on Donald Trump's life. At least a third attempt.
No doubt.
That means that, must be some Democrats as well.
It's like
that
Hezbollah.
believe there will be another attempt on his
Hezbollah
life.
doesn't just lob one missile at Israel. Hezbollah lobs hundreds of missiles at Israel. Do you think that 2 missed shots from assassins in the United States like Trump? Come on, man.
Yesterday, Trump talked about, and then here's all the evil that's going on, the dirtiness that's going on. The Butler County assassin, his dad, listen to Trump talk about this. Well, his dad has now got the #1 defense attorney in the state of Pennsylvania. And I'm glad Trump talked about this publicly because this is eye-opening to me.
Father of the shooter in the Butler instance has one of the best and most expensive lawyers in the entire state of Pennsylvania. How did he get to this expensive lawyer, big law firm, the biggest in Pittsburgh? Where did he get this big law firm from? It's sort of strange. Why is it that
It is strange to me because
so
they don't
strange.
have money. That family does not have money.
They don't. Do they even need a public defender for anything right now?
Why is he have an
That's
attorney?
just it. That's the
just
question.
it, right?
Yeah. Why?
Trump's not going to sue him because of his kid.
I mean, they're probably afraid that they're going to be, prosecuted just like they're kind of trying
Or
to
for
set that precedent.
information.
Yeah.
What did
true,
dad
too.
know? What was going on? Because they still say that they are having problems getting information in the investigation.
yeah.
Yeah, parents are afraid right now when their kids commit mass shootings or, attempt to take a president out. I mean, they're really trying to hold people responsible and accountable. And I think that they're probably freaking out about it.
Yeah.
But can I piggyback on, we're talking about like attempted assassins and the mentally ill. Did you guys know that Ryan Roth, the guy that tried,
the creepiest assassin in the world?
Oh, guess what? It gets creepier and sicker.
Yeah.
So the apple does not fall far from the tree. His son, Orrin Ruth, was arrested on child pornography. And I'm not like, not just a little bit of child pornography. They went into his apartment and the FBI did, and they found, I read the affidavit on it, and it is so disturbing what this guy had. It is the worst context of child pornography.
So are we surprised?
No, and that's just it. This is who we're dealing with.
I'm not even surprised.
There is, it's not an epidemic of guns.
But you know what, though? Unfortunately, there's tons of conservatives who have fell prey to pornography and child trafficking as well.
Well, that is true.
I just hate it all.
Takes a special kind of sick to have this kind of stuff. I mean, a special kind of sick.
Yeah.
You know what? Pornography, whatever. If you're an adult, knock yourself out, do whatever it takes. But when you are, I just can't even believe it. But anyway, to answer your question earlier, I mean, we're dealing with a lot of sick people in our country.
Well, and evil has just put its little roots in the United States.
Eric said it before. He calls the Democrats army ants. If you go against the Democrats, if you're a Republican at a national level like Trump, or if you're a Democrat yourself, like New York City Mayor Eric Adams.
I heard about that.
This is becoming quite a story, national story, becoming the #1 national story. Democrat Eric Adams, who Trump has said a lot of what's happened in New York City is not his fault. Trump publicly has said it's Kathy Hochul, the governor, the ultra liberal hardcore attorney who allowed all of the bullshit against Trump. Well, all of a sudden, Eric Adams comes out publicly, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago, saying what's happening in New York City, and we'll show you the soundbite in a second. It's you're not going to be able to erase this. New York City is done with all the illegals that have come in. He's like, there's no turning back. And now charges have been filed, federal indictments against Eric Adams. And I'm telling you, he went against his system and they're coming after him. Here's what he had to say. Then we'll show you what he said before. This is his response in regards to what's being done to him right now. Keep in mind, this is the Democratic mayor of New York City, who Trump has actually backed publicly, who came out against all the illegal immigration that's happening in this country.
Wow. My fellow New Yorkers, it is now my belief that the federal government intends to charge me with crimes. If so, these charges will be entirely false, based on lies. But they would not be surprising. I always knew that if I stood my ground for all of you, that I would be a target. And a target I became. For months, leaks and rumors have been aimed at me in an attempt to undermine my credibility and paint me as guilty. Just this past week, they searched the home of our new police commissioner, looking for documents from 20 years ago, just 1 week after he joined my administration. Enough. I will fight these injustices with every ounce of my strength and my spirit. My fellow New Yorkers.
Interesting.
Okay, so here's the deal.
They're saying that he took money falsely, but used it for other funds. But this is what Democrats do. And
20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, guess what happens with this in politics? Sweep it under the rug.
That's right.
No one cares. Yeah, I mean, if you want to...
It's still going on, Eric. It just matters if you upset the right people.
Amen. This is the weirdest thing. I mean, how do you get local elections these days to be the most expensive advertised elections, and they're always liberals that are spending all the cash? Where are you getting your cash from? I know it's not from the local bakery. I know it's not from your grassroots organization in Dearborn, Michigan. You're getting it from somewhere.
Well, just another Burisma.
Well, Zelensky is leaving the United States with $400 million more for a fake war, and we've already seen that money be funneled here, funneled there.
Yeah.
And there are reports that it could come back into the United States into political contributions.
And not just that, but what happens if Trump wins? He's pissed off the wrong dude.
Yeah.
Well, Eric Adams pissed off the right people. I wanted to show this Eric thing, and we can be done with it.
No,
Eric.
we don't have to, because it's important, because you're right. It's the DOJ.
But listen to what Eric said just a few months ago when it came to all the illegals coming to New York.
Support. And let me tell you something, New Yorkers. Never in my life have I had a problem that I did not see an ending to. I don't see an ending to this.
Woo!
I don't see an ending to this. This issue.
Now you know why he has federal indictment against him.
Wow.
This is about immigration killing New York City.
It is.
We're getting 10,000 migrants a month.
But you asked for it, Eric Adams. He did.
One time we were just getting Venezuela. Now we're getting Ecuador. Now we're getting Russian speaking coming through Mexico. Now we're getting Western Africa. Now we're getting people from all over the globe have made their minds up that they're going to come through the southern part of the border and come into New York City. And everyone is saying it's New York City's problem. Every community in this city is going to be impacted. We had a $12 billion deficit that we're going to have to cut. Every service in this city.
You could have built a wall for that.
All of us.
Unbelievable.
And so I say to you, as I turn it over to you, this is some of the most educated, some of the most knowledgeable, probably more of my commissioners and deputy commissioners and chiefs live in this community. So as you ask me a question about migrants, tell me what role you played.
Yeah, we can get out there. You get the point with Eric Adams and why federal charges have now come against him. This isn't by chance. This is how the DOJ works. This is what they do. You go against us and all of our working ants, we will find a way to come after you, because I'm telling you right now, in media, you are still guilty until proven innocent, unfortunately, especially if you're a politician. And it's sad what they will do. We saw the fake and phoniness with Barack Obama. We saw the fake and phoniness with Joe Biden. We saw the fake and phoniness with Kamala now. And now you just continue to see it over and over and over again. Let's forget about the attempts on Donald Trump's life. Let's be like CNN. We'll make up stories and say Laura Loomer and Donald Trump are together. And then we'll apologize later on a lesser viewed show and just make it like a quick 10 or 15 seconds. This is all sabotage. It is election interference, and Democrats don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
But here's what's frustrating. Can I invite you all just to go down just a quick trip down memory lane? When Governor Abbott was trying to have some kind of control over the borders, okay, him being in a border state, he was furious. They were literally allowing people to just walk in left and right. They weren't vetted. They weren't detained. None of it. And Mayor Adams was one of the virtue signaling mayors in a sanctuary city that said, this is awful, the way that you're treating these people. These people have a right to be here. We need to do better. You can't just put these people on buses to just go anywhere and show up anywhere. So guess what? Abbott started sending them up to New York. So be careful what you ask for, Democratic cities, because one day he opened his eyes and he's like, shit, I should never have said that.
Yeah, it's right. It's the Democrat.
At least you're right. Everything you said is one factual right. But at least he woke up. And at least he said publicly what the Democrats did not want to be heard.
Well, and I
which
hope
is what we just did.
I hope that this sets an example for people that are trying to be virtuous and saying,
you gotta get into the minutia.
Let them all in.
You gotta get into the minutia here, okay? So here's the deal. Denver, Seattle, Washington, Portland, Oregon, they are all what are called sanctuary cities, okay? What that means is that a straggling family coming over the border make their way to Detroit or wherever, and they go, we're sanctuary city, we won't deport you. As a matter of fact, if you arrive tomorrow morning at the Home Depot, someone will pick you up and you can go do day work for them and you can make a living. Yay. Okay, you're not going to get overwhelmed by 16 families coming from Ecuador into Seattle, Washington. However, Greg Abbott starts putting the macro on those buses. Now you're in trouble. So the sanctuary city even though it means something, high horse-ish, means nothing anymore because now you have to pay for them. There's no tax base here. You have literally given up three luxury hotels to people, not veterans. The veterans are still living under paper in Central Park.
Right. That's
you
right.
got now an entire Venezuelan community in the upper deck of a luxury hotel.
Yeah.
That's hard to run on. So so here's my theory, and it's all theoretical at this point. The good people in the federal government know what's happening in the world order. They get it. These people are like, for this to work, we have to integrate all the borders. The borders have to be gone. Now we can have a one world system. You can't have Germans being nationalistic in Germany. You can't have Americans being nationalistic in the United States because it doesn't mean anything anymore.
No, it doesn't mean anything.
Does that make sense?
I love it when you talk New World Order.
But that's the ultimate prize.
It is.
And you know who's getting swept up in this?
You're talking sexy to me right now.
Go on. I got more where that came from. Here's who's getting swept up in this. And the first chip to fall is Mayor Adams. He's going, I am a Democrat and I don't understand what you want me to do. He's like the first chip to fall in the new world order, shipping migrants to the big metropolitan cities.
Yeah, and you're not even equipped. They're not even equipped
but it's
to
only
hold their own people.
But it's only theoretical at this point. You see what I'm saying? You can't prove it. So what's happening behind the closed doors, behind the George Soros, Barack Obama, and Hillary Clinton meetings?
Yep.
We can only speculate. We speculated 3 years ago about why are they letting migrants over the borders during COVID? What's going on? Why can't they shut this down? Well, that was planned. It was by plan. So now Mayor Adams was not supposed to be a part of this. It was supposed to be evenly distributed throughout the United States. It's coming to St. Louis too, by the way. I don't know if you noticed or not, but an illegal alien killed a cop the other day.
Yeah, well, they're everywhere. I mean, they're everywhere. But, you have to be very careful when you are a leader of a city, red or blue.
Yeah.
You need to, well, first of all, common sense would say that you're going to take care of your own people first. And I'm sorry, but New York City, many parts of it, it's just a dump.
Don't you feel like you're
a complete dump?
Don't you feel like you're playing a game of Clue with the United States government? It's like they know what's in the manila envelope and we're all trying to figure it out.
That's a that's a good way to
it was George Soros in the living room with the United States
George
Treasury.
Soros is everywhere. Yeah. He's in every room with every murder weapon.
But just remember, like we said, Alex Soros, who now runs all operations within the Soros crime syndicate, is meeting with Tim Walz.
Yeah.
It's a fact. They made it public. They did it. It is there. You can't make the stuff up.
And it's real easy for these guys, Vic, these days. Look, you know what you can do if I'm a liberal, if I'm Kamala Harris or any Democrat running, if I'm Coons here in Missouri, I make George Soros a hero, right? All you got to do is say, this is a guy that is trying to protect your ability to have an abortion.
Oh my gosh.
We respect and champion George Soros. If they did that, then they don't even have to worry about George Soros anymore. It's like the Koch brothers. Remember the Koch brothers was it was the enemy of the left,
but
they disappeared.
But I'm telling you right now, and because you brought this up, and you know what? We'll go off the beaten path. Joe, can you show the FBI whistleblower? Marcus Allen, not the former Hall of Fame running back, former FBI chief of staff, this week in testimony had this message for Americans when it came to what's happening, the dirtiness, because you two were just talking about this, about what's happening, how you can't trust anything, how you're trying to play a game of Clue.
Yeah.
Listen to what this guy said in his testimony for Americans. And I don't know if we'll play the entire testimony, but man, it is powerful as hell when you listen to what he had to say.
And everybody in the minority party, they're fearing what Donald Trump would do in the next administration while they sit here and they look at the guy who's been persecuted by the FBI. And everybody in the room understands it. Mr. Allen, do you have comments you wish to make? I'll give you about a minute and a half, and then I want to turn the rest of my time to Mr. Jordan.
Yes, sir. I would just say that I consider the hearing today my last act of service as a public servant for the United States of America.
Wow.
And I'll give you my professional opinion. I was an intel professional for our country for many years, and I would give recommendations, and I'd also look at indications and warnings. So I would offer this to the American people as my warning to them. Since this is a warning to the American people, I say, I personally have no confidence that the FBI will rein in its own conduct.
Woo!
I've been persecuted along with Garrett,
Wow.
Steve and Kyle, and countless other whistleblowers. It is my opinion that the Bureau used reprisal and fear to control the workforce. It has been a seemingly effective tactic. I personally believe that there are no current effective checks and balances against them conducting lawless action with any type of correction in a legitimate time frame. I welcome the work of the IG, but I think any type of lawless action, there's no legitimate time frame to rein them back in. Their ability to overclassify information can allow them to stonewall forever. To the American people, you have a duty as a citizen to vote, and I strongly urge you to do so. It's how you participate in the American experience. I know people have doubts about election integrity, but you must vote. It is your claim. Stake your claim and don't forfeit it willingly. Have your voice heard. My other recommendations are in the natural order. First, vote. The second is the Second Amendment. Arm yourself and know how to defend yourself.
Damn!
Make 3 to 4 friends in your neighborhood and promise to come to each other's mutual aid in times of hardship. And during the Great Depression, people stocked up a pantry. So I think that's a good practice, especially in our economic times, and make sure you have 3 to 4 months of food. And as a person of faith, I'd say pray the rosary, go to the First Friday devotions. That's for everybody, all my brothers and sisters of all faiths, and I know I'm Catholic, and read the gospel of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and live it every day.
There you go, Joe. We can get that right there.
That was good. So
When
good.
was this recorded?
This
Does anybody
was
know?
yesterday or the day before. I came
Unbelievable.
across it this morning right before the show. I was like, I have to stuff that in the show. And I didn't know if I was, but you started talking about Clue, what's going on. Not trying to scare people, but guys, if we're awake, we kind of know this in the back of our head. We may not want to think about it or think it can happen tomorrow. But literally, we're talking about special operations within the FBI. He's been a whistleblower. He's had one of the worst lives you can imagine since coming out against the FBI. And he's got nothing to gain.
No.
Yet he is there telling people what's going on. And this all brought on by what you see with a weaponized DOJ and FBI.
Yep. And like you said, it's going to be swept under the rug.
Yeah.
They're going to, nobody's going to hear this guy say this.
But you do
and they're
hear.
going to pretend, well, we do, but the people that need to hear it aren't going to hear it.
Yeah.
And
what he just said was, so checks and balances is the thing that keeps a democracy. If I have
a democracy.
Exactly. There's, if the executive branch doesn't like what the Congress is doing, there's a veto, there's a check and a balance. The Congress can investigate the executive branch. What he's saying is these organizations, I don't have the ability to bring this to the public because what they do is they stonewall it by putting a classification on the case that you're talking about as top secret, right?
Right.
And so they have an unusual ability to be exceptionally dangerous because there's no checks and balance on this thing. This guy was trying to whistleblow something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now he is in jeopardy, probably, I don't know to what extent, but he's quitting.
Well, and he's scared. I mean, you could hear
Did you hear that?
Yeah, his voice was cracking.
Yeah.
I thought he was maybe tearing up
I'm
a little
tearing
bit,
up.
but yeah, I mean, he's scared.
It's up
and
to the
he should be because, we go after the wrong people in this country.
I don't know. I would love, again, we're playing a game of Clue. Because I'm asking a question. Do you think that these intelligence agencies, are they like a cult? Do you have thousands of employees that won't rise up against their management, for lack of a better word? Or is it because if you know that this is a shady organization and you just sit there with your little, in your cubicle doing your job and you don't say anything, you're part of the cult. You're part of the problem.
You're exactly right. But when you have a deep state and a swamp, at the very top tier of this country, it's hard.
So you as our
Because it's deep.
viewers and our listeners, post the video, post our show, let people know what we do. That's what we say. Like, subscribe, share the show. What are you going to do? It's as simple. You post the show, let people know what we're doing and making sure that we're looking at information and you guys helping us as well, sending us information to put out there because you think this is fake and it's just fake news and this guy's giving up his life and trying to make a story. No, that is as real as it gets.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even comprehend having to stock up food. I can't.
No,
right
the fact that he says, he doesn't come out and say it. He goes, if I were you, I'd get 2 or 3 or 4 of you guys in the neighborhood with guns, and I might put
bare arms.
I mean, that's the worst thing that you can hear from someone that just go, I'm just saying. It's like, what do you know that I don't know? I can't tell you that, but I'm just saying those are the guys that you listen to.
And it comes after he just said, I am worried that the FBI will not be able to rein in its own.
No.
Yeah.
So what is planned? What is happening? Obviously, there's an election coming up. It's 2024. We're told to look the other way with all the Diddy stuff. It made us all forget about the Epstein list. Forgot about the Biden crime syndicate family and all the charges and the Hunter. And then the media is actually promoting the same people that supported Kamala Harris as IRS agents and everybody else who signed the letter stating that the Hunter laptop was never real.
Yeah.
And then we found out it was real in a court of law. Not our opinion, but facts, because we deal with facts here. And then they promote the same people who promoted the laptop story now as being Kamala supporters, because they know Americans can be dumb as well. That's why we try to educate people.
Well, they do, but they do. They treat us like we're completely unintelligent, like we're stupid. Kamala Harris being a perfect example. You know, every time she says something, it's a lie. And, you know, she
most times,
and she really does treat the American people like they're dumb. I mean, what was it yesterday? She said that, you know, Donald Trump, while he was in office, was the worst economic time, second to the Great Depression.
Oh, we got that sound. Can we play that soundbite?
Yeah, let's do. You know,
I would love to play that. I'm glad you brought that up. That, oh my, Eric.
Yes.
Eric,
what?
You got to wait to hear this soundbite.
Okay.
Which one is it?
Kamala.
Give me a little bit of backstory on it.
She did another exclusive interview with MSNBC.
Oh my gosh.
And it was
when did she do that?
Yesterday. It was really bad.
I did not hear about
really
this.
bad.
This is what media.
What other interview has not been really bad?
Oh no,
Has there been one yet?
I mean, I can barely watch. She's that moronic.
Yeah.
She really is.
Polling shows that most likely voters still think Donald Trump is better to handle the economy. Why do you think that is?
Well, here's what I know in terms of the facts. Donald Trump left us with the worst economy since the Great Depression when you look at, for example, the employment numbers.
It was during COVID, and employment was so high because we shut down the government, we shut down the country.
Even before the pandemic, he lost manufacturing jobs by most people's estimates, at least 200,000. He lost manufacturing plants, ask the auto workers.
Polling shows.
Can you imagine how dumb people are to actually believe her?
And that's
I know there are dumb
they
people.
Believe her.
But it's the voting. The largest voting bloc in the United States is women. If you think that I'm apologizing for saying soccer moms are the ones that you got to watch out for, I'm not lying. You got to change their mind.
Well,
you got to say we can figure out this abortion thing. The other stuff we will not be able to figure out in 10 years. Why don't you do this? Instead of voting for abortion, vote for your kids. Because you're not going to be around when these changes come into play. I'm sorry.
True.
When you have communities that have no ability to communicate with each other, when you have taxes that are so high that if you wanted to start a air conditioning business, you wouldn't be able to do it anymore. When you have the ability to say you're the you're either going to be the number 1 school system in the planet, or you're going to be the number 120th. Which one do you want? You that's the argument to the soccer moms, because that's that's your independence right now.
Yeah, but
these are ladies that do not care about politics.
No, they don't, and that's the problem. Is and nobody's
I know that I keep saying that, and I apologize.
There's more and more.
Apologize,
Eric. I'm around a lot of these quote soccer moms.
Yes.
There are more and more who are caring every single day because they see what has happened in the grocery stores with prices. I'm around more of these moms than you are, and I'm telling you,
I get it.
They care more and more. They do, and many times they don't want to say it publicly, but they know.
Do they?
Yes, they do.
Do they? Because she's right. Women, and
those are the moms I'm around. Look, the moms I'm around care deeply and care more than they ever have, and are speaking more than they ever have. But they will speak about it privately because they know what those bills are like when they're going to the grocery store and they see the inflation. Because you can't hide.
That's true.
The lack of money.
But when you're a childless cat lady, you don't.
That's another thing.
You don't have those same ambitions and desires for your family that you don't have. You care more about your cat's rights than you do humans.
True.
And it is true.
There's nothing wrong with that.
To care more about a cat than a human?
No, meaning if you don't have children.
Oh, no, absolutely not. But now they are the ones now naming themselves, and they're acting like they're proud to be these,
it's not the majority.
It's not the majority, but there are still a lot of people like that out there.
There are.
There's
a lot of people.
And they're self-proclaimed. There's a big group
of
them.
The media likes to take a small group and expand it loud.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I heard it loud and clear.
Kamala Harris was the worst vice president in the history of this country with the worst.
She is.
With the worst polling numbers. She didn't all of a sudden in a month become a legitimate threat on a legal election standpoint.
She sure did.
It's all about a media hype. It's a media lie machine so that an election can be taken, tainted, or whatever.
Okay, so here, let me.
And now we have evidence of video of election machines.
Yeah,
going haywire, Eric.
I understand.
Yeah. We're going to show those as well. It's my God.
My theory on Kamala Harris. So the first time she ran for president,
but that was Kamala. I'm glad you called that up.
What?
No, that soundbite is so bad.
Oh, it's a good one. But here's my theory on Kamala, and this is why she's deadly. The last time we saw her, she was on a stage with Bernie Sanders. Joe Biden, Tulsi Gabbard.
Mm-hmm.
She was on the stage with blah, 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 and whoever else.
When she called Joe, her boss, a racist.
When you could compare the stage of 8 or 9 or 10 or whatever it was, she was not attractive in the least. She was not even close to being in the same category as Bernie Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
She was not even close to being in the category with Biden. She wasn't even close to being in. I mean, her and Tulsi Gabbard were competing for 1%, for God's sakes. So when you had that visual, the optics of that, okay, get out of here. Bye. Don't get back to Congress. Now, so it's the comparison game. Now, over here, you have this semi-attractive female that has been in Congress. She's been in the Senate. She's the vice president.
There he goes with that attractive.
Now listen to me, guys. Listen to me, guys. Hold on. There's this TV show called Veep that kind of gives you the impression of what a female vice president might look like. Oh my God, look at it as, I'm not comparing you to Bernie Sanders anymore. Now I'm comparing you to Donald Trump. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how the human brain works.
No, because of media.
Because of media. That's why she's getting 50%.
Eric.
And on top of that,
and their fake polling. You got to add all the stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of fake
This is all manufactured.
But these are the conversations that these
all a fake.
These are the conversations that these guys are having behind the scenes at the White House as they triage for Kamala. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like what we're talking about
triage
here
is right.
What we're doing right now is what they're doing behind the scenes. Is what they're saying. Look, we are putting the compare and contrast is not between Joe Biden anymore and Kamala. It's between Donald Trump now and Kamala.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
So that's why you have to go.
Because she's the person.
But that's why you have to say, and this is me anyway. Yeah, she is a moron. She's quantifiably an idiot. Okay, we can all say that. You can take a spreadsheet out and go moron. But what's not moronic is how they're marketing her.
Correct. And we've said it from the get-go. It's all a plan.
I think Blink 182 is one of the crappiest bands ever, but they marketed the hell out of that band.
They haven't. I mean, she has not marketed herself. She has been in hiding she will come out and do a rally.
That's the strategy.
Exactly.
It won already.
But
Joe Biden won that way.
Well, that is true. They hid him too. So we're not getting to see who she really is. We're not getting to hear about her policy. We get to hear her come out and make false accusations and false statements and try to use big words to make you think that she's smart so that you believe the nonsense that's coming out of her mouth.
In karate, there's it's either karate or it's some kind of martial art. There's a adage that says, don't ever do anything. Make your opponent use their momentum against themselves. And that's what they're doing, is they're making Trump's momentum, whatever he says, work against him. And he's like, if you don't say anything, you can use that momentum for your own benefit. So when
Trump couldn't be doing anything better than what he is right now.
I agree. And that's kind of why they now have to go down to the border.
He's doing well. Trump could not be doing anything better.
Speaking of that, you know that Kamala is going down to the border. She's going to go make an appearance down there. It's a photo op.
I believe it's today.
Yeah.
Is it today?
Yeah. So
it's tomorrow, actually,
she's going to make
it's the news cycle.
It is tomorrow. That's right.
The news cycle would sweep into the weekend.
Because like you said, her managers know that people are fired up about the border. Whether you're on the left or the right, people are getting sick of it. They're seeing what's happening in
They're
blue
trying
cities.
to neutralize it.
So what they're going to try and do is convince everyone that she's the best border czar ever, that she has been for the last 4 years. So she's going to go down there for probably 10 minutes, get her picture taken, and people are going to be like, look, see, look at how amazing she is. She's the best border czar that we've ever had.
Yeah.
And it's just a bunch of bull.
Yeah.
You know,
I wish Trump would come out, and I'm waiting for this. He would come out and go, all right, let's talk.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish I was working for Trump. He goes, let's talk. Let me sit down here. And then he crosses his legs on a stool and he goes, let's talk about why I tried to kill the border bill. Are you ready? We were going to let 5,000 illegal aliens through, not a month, not a week, but a day. Now, if we run the numbers, good citizens of the United States, that would have been an extra 1.7 million that we allowed over the border. Now let's talk about the money. We were going to give money to judges to fast track these illegals into the country. So that means that we are now legitimizing people coming over the border because we have more judges to say, all right, come back to court in 3 years and we'll do something. It was also going to give them the ability to work,
right?
Which we're going to take away I wish Trump would sit down somewhere and say, now, every time you say, why did I have this bill killed? This is why.
You know what I wish he would say?
He has.
No, he hasn't.
Yes.
You know,
he hasn't.
I can simplify it even more than that, Eric.
The media is I'm sorry, go ahead. The media is making you think that he hasn't, but he has. They hide it.
I haven't seen it.
That's because they hide it. I've seen him talk about it.
Sean Hannity could do an entire show just on that one topic. Because Hannity has been he's doing these events with Trump. I mean, if I was Trump and Hannity, I'd be like, it's the Trump and Hannity show tonight on Fox News.
What were you gonna,
here's what I was going to say. You know, if I was Trump, I'd sit down and instead of being on a stool, I'd be in a chair and I'd, just look the American people in the eye and I'd say, hey, the reason that I wanted to, put a squash on this bill is because I had everything exactly where it needed to be when I left office. I had the most secure border in American history. So what did Joe Biden do on day one? Came in with the stroke of a pen and said, I'm going to redo and reverse everything that Donald Trump did. That's to me, that's all he needs to say.
He has said this in the town halls. He addressed both issues. Yes, he did. Eric,
then it's not
Eric
publicized very well. Then.
Ding, 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 ding. Remember, NBC and ABC, who did the debates, already said 100% positive coverage for Kamala, 93% negative coverage for Trump. Eric, you fight the media too, despite big business, despite Hollywood, despite big tech, despite outspending Donald Trump on a daily basis by $5 million throughout advertising. Trump is still kicking ass. Yeah. I'm telling you, do not believe the hype. The hype machine is full go. It is all about the deep state keeping Donald Trump out, which is why you had investigation after investigation, fake charges after fake charges, changing laws to bring charges, and he's still there. He is attempts on his life. Eric, it all adds together. There is a reason all of this is happening. There's nothing that's natural or normal. Well, this is all built and put together.
One of the envelopes inside of the clue game that we finally figured out was when they tried to say, okay, we're going to put a law and we're going to bundle voting laws into one of these bills. And they said, you need to show citizenship that you're an American citizen to vote in our national elections. And the Democrats said, about that. No,
they said flush that envelope down the toilet.
Now we have figured out one cog in their game. And that cog is they are expecting these people to vote for them.
Heck yeah, they are.
And that means that there's no law so now we talk about the law. It's not codified that you have to be an American citizen to vote in these elections.
And again, it's them treating us, the American people, like we are dumb, that we are stupid. We know the game. And if you don't, you better catch up, because anybody that says that they have zero problem with anybody showing up, anybody, and not having to prove, citizenship to vote, you better do your homework.
Why isn't Trump out right now saying, I'm about to read you HR blank blank, and this was basically the attempt to make sure that illegals could not vote in our elections? And he reads and he goes, I want the Democrats to explain why they think it's okay to not have citizenship requirements to vote in our election.
Eric, he says it everywhere he is. Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
Watch one of his rallies from start to finish. He does. He talks about it. Eric, he is addressing all these issues. The Trump campaign team has been amazing from the get-go, not only with how Donald Trump is campaigning, but with their ads and with the content. Eric, you're still a 1980s guy that watches all that liberal news media.
He is like a broken record with it, I swear.
You're still caught, and that's fine, Eric. I love you. We all love you. You're fun. But you're also caught up in the 80s and thinking that Lester Holton Media is still telling you the truth.
Jeez.
Yeah. Well, because you have a good heart. You just assume,
you have amazing heart.
that they're going to give you the real deal.
And you play a good bass.
And they don't. Yeah. See, you're multi-talented.
No, I'm not multi-talented. I feel like when I watch Trump come out on stage, he's very interested in talking. Things. He's look, let me tell you one thing I don't give a damn about anymore. The attempted suicide or the assassination attempt. I don't care. I don't want to hear about it. Let them deal with that behind closed doors.
They're trying.
Right? I don't care to hear, because every second that they put that on the news, especially a conservative news channel, they are taking away from talking about politics of this lady. Why are you not allowing us to develop a law on your omnibus bill that says you must show American citizenship? Seems like that'd be right down the middle.
She's not talking about it. That's the problem.
Right. But why is Trump not talking about it?
He is.
Yeah, no, he does. He
does. I don't see it.
Yeah,
I don't see it.
Anytime he has an opportunity or a microphone in front of his mouth, he definitely takes that opportunity to tell the American people what Kamala Harris is not doing and what she has done for the last 4 years. Okay. He definitely tries to make a point.
All right. I will look for it.
There you go. Eric, just watch cancelthisshow.com. Okay.
I do every day. Every day.
Hey, before we get out of here today, where do you play this week?
I'm off this weekend. We're going to go up to the Chris Blevins haunted house.
Oh, nice.
We invite you as well.
That's fun.
We invite you.
Okay, I'm writing that
have
down.
to wait and see. Hey, real quick, special shout out to our show sponsors. Complete Auto Body Repair. It's simply the best place to go get your car taken care of. 5 locations throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. Literally take care of everything from A to Z. They get you in, they get you out. As I talk about, they don't nickel dime you. They will take care of your car. They also take care of tires. They also sell cars. Curtis and Crew does everything. And by the way, they currently have about 40 job openings as well. Not only mechanics, but people throughout the entire business, because they also own a towing company, or at least 2 or 3 of them. Check them out. Call them 314-731-7999, 314-731-7999. You can also email them or you can actually go to the website, completeab.com, and let them know you appreciate them advertising on Cancel This. We caught up with our good buddy, David Gregory. He is the conservative injury lawyer. Once again, find him at conservativeinjurylawyer.com. I used him twice. Joe has used him twice. Joe's girlfriend has used him. There's nobody better if you've been in a situation of any personal injury. Dave kicks ass. There's a reason why the top dogs come to Dave after they get business, because Dave and his crew specialize in personal injury. But Dave also specializes when it comes to religious freedom issues, conservative issues. How many personal injury attorneys do you know that will promote themselves as the conservative injury lawyer? You know why? Because he doesn't care. He's like, that is who I am. He's also going to be our next Missouri state senator representing St. Louis County, or at least the western portion of it. That election coming up November 5th. Caught up with Dave yesterday. Super, super happy with the job that he did. And if you tell him that you heard about him on Cancel This, his team is going to knock off 5% and make sure that your settlement is 5% more than what it normally would be. Grateful for that. Also, Wenty's in the Chesterfield Valley and in Defiance, Missouri. Work hard, play hard. check out our good friends over at Winty's. Just really, really damn good food. All of us eat it. Different favorites. Your favorite, Megan?
Well, I think I might be onto the grilled fish tacos.
See, there you go. That's my point. And you used to be on to the
grilled buffalo chicken salad.
Projo loves their smoked meats and their wings. There you go. Yeah, baby.
Smoked meats.
Love it. Winty's and the Chesterfield Valley. Hey, when it comes to charcoal, there's no better charcoal than to use our good friend Jonathan Heslop's Rockwood charcoal. It's Missouri hardwood, and it is all pure, and it's the #1 charcoal in America. Check it out. If you're going to do it, you can get it at Ace Hardware. Also, Capriati's, one of the most unique sandwich shops you're going to find. It is amazing with their Wagyu beef. They roast their freaking turkey all night long, so they slice it and dice it fresh in the morning for you. Open 9 to 9, but their carry out is what is really, really separating them as well. Check out their carry out bags. If you haven't tried it, do so. You won't be disappointed. They're at 9532 Manchester Road in the Rock Hill area. They're ready, and they're ready for your business. And finally, 50 basis points down when it came to the real estate market, when it came to the mortgages. People might be looking for houses. If you are, get your plan in place. Take your positive approach with Megan Livingstone. 314-249-1708, 314-249-1708. You can also email Megan, megan.livingstone@exprealty.com. She'll give you an honest approach of what's happening, but also a positive approach. You don't have to sign with her, but give her a call before you do. Check her out. Give up Megan a chance when it goes there. Yes, Jeannie, 1 hour, not enough, especially when we have Eric in studio. But that's what we do, and our algorithms are working. What we're doing is working. Check out our reels on TikTok. One last week, 110,000 views already, so we're grateful for that. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. YouTube's going very well. So you know what? And if you know of any advertisers or sponsors that want to get involved with this, let us know. Vic@cancelthisshow.com. When we end the show, we have a commercial which you can tell people about, and it shows you what we're doing, and we're appreciative of that. What night are you going to be at the haunted house?
Tomorrow.
Okay, tomorrow night.
And we have a special.
Isn't it supposed to rain?
Yeah, but we have a special VIP area.
Oh, I've been in the VIP area.
Yes, you have.
All right.
Now you got to go there.
Am I still allowed in the VIP area?
Of course. Platinum Rock Legends, the guys of PRL will be out there.
Are you playing?
No, we're not. We're going to be drinking.
Oh. I don't know anything about this haunted house.
What? Do you like haunted houses?
This one's good.
It is?
Oh, my God.
I don't know if I like the good ones.
Especially
that's
if they know who you are, because they make it extra special.
Yeah.
Extra
They'll
Yes.
they'll Megan-fy it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Make it extra
It's called
creepy.
the Cobb Factory in St. Charles. Where is it at? I'm sorry.
It's actually
Old Monroe.
Old
Monroe. That's
Oh,
right.
okay.
The Cobb Factory.
The Cobb Factory.
It's getting into that. It's
right
the
across
haunted
the
house
street.
season. That's for sure.
Do they have people with chainsaws that run around?
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
But here, I'm
that's
gonna
the
give a
one
little
thing I'm
secret.
not down with.
They took the chains off. So
It's
you'll never have to
still-
worry.
I don't like
Never have to
people
worry.
chasing me. Number one. Number two, I don't like chainsaws.
Yeah, I understand.
So that together is a deathly combination for me.
Well, who does like being chased?
Well,
Well,
it depends
that's
on
what
by who.
That's what you pay for. It's like when
Yeah.
you go on a roller coaster, right?
But I will tell you this. I've been in the back of these haunted houses where their walkways are.
Uh-huh.
So they follow you in walkways behind curtains
Yeah,
and doors,
see?
and they can see you.
I know.
And they know when to truck with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, right when you least expect it, right?
Yeah.
When you're just like, oh, this is no big deal.
Yeah.
And then they come out and
Yeah.
act like they're going to,
Yeah.
choke you
Yeah.
and
There's a
then
lot
start
of people that
chasing
are
you. And
Yeah.
yeah.
We'll try to have a great day, everybody. We appreciate you joining us for cancelthisshow.com. For Projo, as always, and Eric Johnson, Megan Marie Moret, I'm Vic Faust. We'll see you guys on Monday. Have an awesome weekend, but please promote everything that we do. If you know people want to sponsor with us, let us know as well. We'll make that happen. Vic at cancelthisshow.com. And our next commercial is what we started sending to people. So check it out.